What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Elden Ring Nightreign video. In today's video, guys, I'm going to be going over the new boss guide for the Everdark Sovereign's event for the Darkdrift Knight. Now, we weren't able to complete the Gaping Jaw, but we were live streaming just the other night, and I was playing with my buddy Dave and our good old member Jev, and we were able to complete this boss fight. And in this video, I'm going to break down all of his new moves and what you should bring. If you guys want more boss guides, tips, and tricks on anything Elden Ring Nightreign, make sure to drop a like, consider subscribing, and make sure to hit that bell icon so that way YouTube can notify you guys when our videos go live. And we've been live streaming pretty much almost every single day of the week, so make sure to stay tuned for that. But without further ado, let's get right into the boss fight. Alright, so first things first, as soon as you start the fight, he has his mutated arm, which is his second phase from the original fight. So if you have his moveset down, then this shouldn't be a problem for you. But it does get annoying because he does, throw that cosmic crap everywhere, and it is sometimes hard to dodge. And the range on his AoE is kind of ridiculous. But once he does the charge up, again, you want to make sure you have some sort of lightning weapon. Now, the team comp that we went with was Wilder, Raider, and then Iron Eye, and we were pretty successful almost every single time that we did this combo. And I had lightning strike on my weapon, and then I just made sure that I upgraded it to purple. So every time that he would do his charge up, I would just activate my weapon art and it would stun him out of it, and then he would get the debuff, and then we would just try to do as much damage as we could. If you do have a good raider like Jev here, he was timing his retaliates pretty well, and then I was able to stun the boss out of the charge up with my lightning strikes. And like I said, if you do have his moveset down, it's all pretty much the same from the last fight. So the first half of this fight should be pretty simple. Now, once we get to phase 2, which he pretty much goes back to normal, but he has an enhanced moveset, and his spear now turns into like a double-bladed Darth Maul lightsaber with all sorts of crazy combos. Now, the name of this fight is to try and get as many stun locks as you can, because once he gets into this phase, it's kind of hard for him to stay still. So going for those heavy R2s, he'll do like this leap up into the air, and he'll summon arrows that will come down. So you got to watch out for that. So if he shoots up in the air, just back up away from him, because he'll shoot showers that go after each player. If you're not careful, you will get absolutely wiped with these star showers. Then he has that quick snipe attack, which you have to look out for. He does a double spin and a jump slam, which is kind of easy to dodge. And then he'll do some of his normal attacks with his like the flinging rocks and stuff. And then he'll go up and do this attack, and this is like his ultimate attack. Well, he'll shoot down. You'll have a red mark on one of the players, and then he'll shoot down and do a giant nuke AoE. So you just want to pretty much, as soon as you see the ray from the weapon that he has, you'll see like a little beam coming from his weapon, and that's where he's going to shoot, and you just want to run away as far as possible for that. But after that, and then he does have a pretty crazy combo with his double-bladed lightsaber attack. He still does some of the charges where he'll do running across the map, and then he has like a trail behind him that does a huge AoE, and then at the very end, it'll do a giant AoE. So I was trying to time my dodges here so I can get close to him, but I was unsuccessful sometimes. But yeah, during this run, we were pretty successful, and like I said, here is the crazy combo that he does. The biggest thing that I found was, as soon as you see him about to charge it up, just run right behind him, because like he gets locked into like an animation where he's only looking in one direction, and then just run, do your like super sprint as far away from him as possible, and then you won't get hit. And then, like I said, the double spin with the slam was like the perfect window to hit him. And as you can see here, like once we get to this fight, like the DPS kind of slows down a bit. So this is why I was saying that you want to try and get some stun locks on him. If you have other status effects, that also helps as well. So he's actually weak to almost every other status effect except for Madness. So if you're doing bleed or poison or frostbite or even scarlet rot, anything would help in this fight. But going for those charge R2s, or if you have a raider, so as you can see here, I was able to get another stun on him, and we were able to get some pretty good damage. And this team comp worked out pretty well because we had also our Iron Eye inflicting the marking, so that way he would take some more damage. Iron Eye is always a great aspect to have in a team. Now, I've always said the best team comp, you always want to have at least an Iron Eye and a Raider, and then the third slot is always a flex slot if the person knows how to play that individual character. And I know how to play Wilder pretty well, so with this team comp, like I said, we were pretty successful almost every single time we ran this team composition, especially if we had some decent weapons, especially some decent lightning weapons or lightning items that we could use against him, because he's really weak to lightning. He's actually resistant to holy, so you don't want to have any holies. I think he's like 20% resistant towards holy. Every other ailment is not, it's like a 0, it's just normal, but he does have, like, I think it's a 20% or 25% weakness to lightning. So anything lightning is the name of the game for this fight. Mind my reaction towards the end of the fight here. We actually we tried him, I think, quite a few times, and like I said, we weren't able to beat Gaping Jaw, so beating him was kind of cool. So yeah, sorry for my reaction at the end there. Now, as far as my relics go, now the starting relics that I had was, one of them was my starting armament skill would be lightning slash, so that way I would have lightning on my weapon. I had like vigor bonuses. I also had one where I got rune discounts, more runes for me and my allies, so we could get up to level 15 a little quicker. And then we had a stone sword key at the beginning of each run. And then I had another one where I would get increased art charge every time I hit a critical, so I would always go for those crits when I was doing those heavy R2s. And with a raider on your team inflicting more stance damage, then that also helped us out as well. And then I also had, every time we cleared an Everjail, my attack power increased. So this was kind of the loadout that I went with Wilder, and this is what we kept running each and every time we went up against him. So that's what I had on my character for Wilder to go up against the Darkdrift Knight. Now, the item that you get at the end, it's a new relic. You get a whole new shop at the end. So for those of you that weren't able to beat Gaping Jaw, if you are able to beat him, then you get a whole new store unlocked, which I'll show you guys here in a second. I was just showing Dave like where to go. So you come out towards the open area here in the front of the round table, then you make a hard right around the castle, and then once you get to right here, you have this like little table with an urn and a note on it. It's called the collector's signboard. And then you have a few other different options that you can use. You can change the look of the site of grace at the round table. It's just cosmetic, and it uses one of your sovereign sigils. Not really worth it in my opinion, but then you have all types of different urns, all different color combinations for all the different characters, and then you have a bunch of new relics, and then you have the new relic that you get from beating the Everdark boss. Now, his was called Dark Knight of the Champion, which increases maximum stamina, boosts attack power of added affinity attacks, and defeating enemies fills more of the art gauge. And there's actually some other good ones that you can get for each of the characters. There's actually a stone for each character skill, like Wilder, Guardian, Recluse kind of just has, like, you know, more FP the more stabs you have. Raiders got some stuff on there, and then there's a couple other ones as well. And then you can also buy the skins as well. If you don't want to use your merc, you can use your sovereign sigils to buy the skins as well, so it's another way to obtain skins, so that's kind of cool. And then the other thing that you can do is you can actually just alter which shifting earth event that you want to go for. I think it costs like 1 sigil, so if you want the Scarlet Rot or the Mountaintops or the Crater, you can just go here, spend a sovereign sigil, and then just do whatever shifting earth event that you want to go with, which is actually pretty nice. So you can just like instantly proc whatever event that you want. But that's going to be it for this guide. I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you guys like this live reaction and live commentary with the new Everdark bosses, I'll try to do some more guides once we get some of the newer bosses and the maybe some of the DLC bosses as well. So make sure to drop a like, consider subscribing to the channel, guys, and if you guys have any other tips and tricks for this boss or any other loadouts that you think are pretty well used against this boss, then feel free to leave a comment down below. I'd always like to see everybody's opinions and, you know, different ways to accomplish victory with FromSoft bosses. That's going to be it from us, guys. I hope you have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Deuces.